Okay, this is February 14th, 6 o'clock. It appears that sometime during the early morning hours, I had a visitor that was on the deck, on my back deck, and then jumped off the deck onto the ground, left the toe prints in the ground where it landed. I'll show you from up here. You can see that or not. Right there's disturbance number 1. And over here to the left is the toe prints right there. Of course, the deck's approximately 8 foot off the ground. That ground right there is rock hard. I mean, that's red clay, packed red clay. And it's extremely hard ground, so in order for something to make that sort of disturbance, you're going to wait quite a bit. We've had a little bit of rain, but not enough to make it muddy. So there's the right foot, which looks like took most of the load. And there's the left foot, where you can see 1, 2, 3, at least 4 toes. So I'm going to go down and measure, give you an idea of how big the foot is. Okay, to give you an idea, there's the messy deck, and right there's the prints. So it appears that he jumped off the back deck and then landed here. We'll go to the right footprint first. As you can see, it disturbed the earth, pushed it up there and there, and right here especially. How the ground's cracked. And this ground, just to show you how hard it is, I weigh 210 pounds. So that's the best I can do. And that's what he did. So the front there looks to be 7 inches across from toe to toe. Move that out of the way. Of course, he landed on his toes. There's no heel print back this way. And then over here was his other foot. And you can, it's kind of hard to make it out, but right there, and that looks like the big toe. See how the smush went right there? Kind of slid his foot to the left a little bit, like that. So it kind of messed up the toe print. But that's his other one, and that's consistent. It's a little under 7 inches. That big toe right there is 2 inches. And he didn't land with his feet too far apart. Short little hop there. Of course, there's nothing back here. Like I said, that's the most impressive because how hard this ground is. He broke the earth up when he landed. I've looked and I cannot find a secondary footprint. We figure he is going to step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 feet, average. And I have looked the ground over, and I found this right here. I'll just be honest, but I can't say 100% it's a footprint. You've got right there, you've got a little bit of earth pushed up there. Appears a toe maybe right there. you could have a second right foot right there, which is about 6 foot, which would be about right for this guy. The reports have been that he's about 6.5 foot tall, wiry teenager in a hoodie. Look for the other footprint and see we get into grass, and I'd say he didn't leave any more. In order to leave that, you gotta be pretty heavy. That's impressive. Let's push that up. Very impressive. Okay, you're asking yourself, okay, why were they on your deck? Well, they come to my deck to get dog food. And I have a tub, I'll show you. It's just a generic tub. And a couple things that were interesting, I just slid the lid back on it the way I found it. When they get dog food, I always kind of do a couple things to them. And one of the things is I always put the label here, up here. So as you can see where it's laying, the tub, as you can tell, they got the lid backwards. Okay, when I left this morning after feeding the dogs, in fact there's a fingerprint right there. I don't know if you can see it, a greasy fingerprint, a pretty good size one. About twice the size of my thumb. Now if I can back up and show you, see the greasy fingerprint? And there's my thumb. The dog food, every night or every time I feed the dogs, after I feed the dogs, I always leave it, I always re-level the dog food so the dog food is level. As you can see here, the dog food is not level. So some's been scooped out right there. And of course a big spot's been scooped out in the middle. And it's hard to see with this camera. Try to get it. There you go. Remember, when I left, this was level flat all the way across, and the lid was snapped on in the opposite. The lid was actually the reverse. I had the lid like this, and it snaps. So they had to unsnap it, scoop a couple handfuls of dog food out at least, and then he put it on backwards. And that may not be that may be my thumbprint, but no, that can't be my thumbprint because I always put it on the opposite way. And so I always do it this way and grab it from this side, so that's our friend's fingerprint right there, because he's done it this way. Yep, and he pressed down on it. So not only did he flip it around, he left his greasy fingerprints. And the dog food, of course, has grease to it. I don't use, when I feed the dogs, I use the bowl. I never touch it. And I smooth it back out with a piece of wood. So anyway, that's why they come on the back porch, or the back deck, is to get them some dog food. And then they jump off and take off into the neighborhood. As crazy as it seems, that's what's happening.